All right, let's talk about the creator's journey. It's this path filled with huge ambition, incredible highs, but also the very, very real risk of burnout. Today, we're going to explore how to get started, how to build momentum, and maybe most importantly, how to build a creative life that's not just successful, but one you can actually sustain and enjoy. Let's just start with a feeling. This is something a lot of us know all too well. This is Dr. Rupi Ojla talking about burnout. And it's not just feeling tired, right? It's that loss of excitement, that loss of empathy, where your passion just curdles into a chore. This is the wall we're all trying so hard not to hit. So how do we avoid that wall? Well, it all starts at the very beginning. The biggest hurdle for any creative project isn't the big, grand vision. It's just the simple act of starting. It's that initial inertia that can feel like an impossible weight. So how do you get past it? Check out Jenna Kutcher's origin story. One of the most successful podcasters in the world didn't start with some perfect, fancy studio. Nope, she started in her car with a pair of iPhone headphones. The lesson here is so powerful. Action is way more important than perfection. Just hit record. Just start. We have this idea that we need to wait for some lightning bolt of motivation to strike before we can even begin. But as writer Jeff Hayden explains, we've got it completely backward. Motivation isn't the cause of action, it's the result of action. It's the fuel you get after the engine is already running. Wild, right? So this is how you build motivation. You don't just find it. It's a cycle, a really good one. You make a tiny bit of effort, you get a small win, and that feels good. And that good feeling, it makes you want to do it again. Success literally fuels more success. The key is to just start small. Okay, so you've started. Awesome. You've broken through that inertia. Now what? How do you build on that initial spark and turn it into a roaring fire? Well, the answer isn't in some grand gesture. It's all about the small, consistent things you do every single day. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, he gives us the perfect way to think about this. Think of your habits like money in the bank. Small, consistent deposits of effort might not seem like much at first, but over time, they compound into massive, massive returns. And this is the core idea right here. Forget about these huge overnight transformations. Just focus on getting a tiny 1% better each day. It's not about where you are right now, it's about your trajectory. If you're on a path of slight improvement, time becomes your best friend. So, this is a big one. I want you to take a second and really ask yourself this question. Are the things you do every single day, your routines, your rituals, are they actually moving you closer to where you really want to be? If not, then something about your trajectory needs to change. But what happens when that drive for consistent improvement goes too far? There's a dark side to this whole journey, where even the best habits can't protect you from the pressure. Let's talk about what happens when that relentless pursuit of your goals leads you straight into a wall, the burnout wall. And look, burnout isn't just a buzzword people throw around. It's a real, recognized syndrome with a clinical definition, developed by psychologist Christina Maslach. It's a specific, measurable response to chronic stress, and it's made up of 3 very distinct components. Okay, let's break this down. First up, you've got exhaustion. And I'm not just talking about being tired after a long week. This is that profound, bone-deep fatigue that sleep just doesn't seem to fix. Then comes cynicism, where the passion you had is replaced by this feeling of detachment, of negativity. And finally, ineffectiveness, that creeping feeling that you're just not good at what you do anymore. Recognizing which one of these is hitting you the hardest, that's the first step to getting better. This quote from a law firm partner named Cheryl, wow, it just captures that exhaustion piece perfectly, doesn't it? That relentless, always-on state where your body is constantly in fight or flight mode with absolutely no chance to recover, running a marathon at a sprint pace, all the time. And this brings us to a super crucial distinction from Dr. Aditi Nurikar. We're always told to be resilient, right? But there's a huge difference between true resilience, which respects our human need for rest, and toxic resilience. That one, the hustle culture mindset that just tells you to push through no matter what it costs you. But here's the good news. You can recover from this. Now that we've kind of diagnosed the problem, let's shift to solutions. Let's get into the toolkit, some concrete, practical tools you can use to refuel your engine and prevent future stalls. Let's start with the absolute basics, because honestly, these are non-negotiable. Good sleep, proper nutrition, moving your body, connecting with people, these aren't luxuries you earn after you've been productive. They are the essential maintenance required to keep your mind and body running in the first place. Okay, here's a really practical, tactical solution from business strategist Jasmine Star. It's called batching. Instead of constantly scrambling to create something new, which is so mentally draining, you dedicate one single block of time to plan, prepare, and create a ton of content in bulk. This simple shift in your workflow can dramatically cut down on stress and free up so much mental space. All right, let's zoom out for a second. Those tools are great for immediate relief, but for long-term sustainable success, you need a whole new map. It's about fundamentally changing how you measure progress and how you define what success even means to you. Organizational psychologist Benjamin Hardy offers this just profound mindset shift. He argues that most of us live in the gap, constantly measuring ourselves against this future ideal that just keeps moving further away. The secret to sustainable happiness is to live in the gain, where you measure your progress backward against where you started. This one little perspective shift cultivates gratitude and a real sense of accomplishment. And this is exactly why the gap is such a trap. As Hardy explains, even when you achieve your goal, if you're stuck in that mindset, you'll just move the goalposts. It's never enough. The problem isn't the goal, it's the yardstick you're using to measure. So let's reorient. Instead of chasing that moving target, get really clear on this question. Having a vivid, clear vision of the person you want to become, your future self, that becomes your North Star. It guides your daily decisions with so much more intention and purpose. And this is what connects that future vision to what you do right now. Jenna Kutcher puts it perfectly. It's not about some far-off legacy you might leave behind one day. It's about living that legacy every single day and prioritizing the joy and peace you want for your future self right now in the present. Okay, I want you to really let this one sink in for a second. This single question completely flips the script on the relationship between work and recovery. Rest isn't a reward you get for hard work. It's the foundation that makes great work possible in the first place. Total game changer. So after all that, let's bring it all back to you, right here, right now. After everything we've covered, from that very first spark of action to the profound power of rest, what is the one small change you can make today to start moving from just surviving to actually thriving, to start living your legacy instead of just chasing it? Your journey starts with that single step.